right, y'all. Yeah, it's emotional. And, ooh. I don't even know where to start. All right. Yeah, I go with that trembling voice thing. We done made fun of all them NFL and the NBA players for their voice trembling, and here I am doing the same thing. We are moving into, we're making a transition in radio. We'll be on in most cities, but we'll be on a different radio station, whatever your urban AC station is, or R&B. Like, for example, we'll be on 98.7 KISS FM and not on 95.7. And this be last. I think the emotional part where I started my radio career, and I just want to say thank you for the opportunity that was extended to me. I was a young, struggling comedian out here trying to make it happen. And I would drive from Center Point to Tuscaloosa, which was 55 miles and probably longer living in Center Point. 55 miles every day to do morning radio for free. And Buck Wilde gave me an opportunity. And started the station, a little small station in Birmingham on a small signal out of Tuscaloosa. A lot of people don't know that listen to 95.7. Started I'm just a little bit of history of where I came from in radio, what led to the whole taking over Tom Joyner thing. And here's just a little bit how it started. Went in the studio, Corey White, who we grew up in the same neighborhood, and he took me down there, introduced me to Buck Wilde in Africa. And Buck was like, you're a comedian? I'm like, yeah, I'm a comedian. He's like, hey, well, come on down and audition, and you can sit in with me in Africa. I said, sure. And I drove to Tuscaloosa every day. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity because it led to me being on the Doug Banks Morning Show and getting my own show in Dallas, on 97.9. Thanks to Sean Nunn for that opportunity. Thank you to David DuBose, my first general manager at 95.7. And, big shout out to the big old pimp, Corey White. I always appreciate you. And I got my first boss, Eva and Miss Shanika, Gary, all y'all sit here. Mm-hmm. I got my first boss, the first morning show that I was a part of. I got him on the phone.
Oh.
His name is Sammy Mack, but they call him Buck Wilde from the Buck Wilde Morning Show. What
Good
up,
morning.
Buck?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
I'm proud of you, right?
Yeah.
Dude. And you know what's crazy is that when we first got to Birmingham, the very first day, before we even started, I asked Corey one, I said, dude, you know any comedians? Especially ones that could do a prank phone call. And you came up, and I said, first thing I said, hey, can you do prank phone calls? And you looked at me, and your mouth dropped to the floor. You're like, dude, I do that for fun.
Yeah.
And you know how many prank phone calls we used to do back in the day?
Yeah, you the one taught me how to do them, Buck. And a lot of people don't even know this, man. Roy Wood Jr., that's on Comedy Central, Buck Wilde gave Roy Wood Jr. his first opportunity as well.
Wow.
And Buck, man, you sit there and you created two people, man, and Roy Wood is just larger than life.
Yeah.
And you let both of us be on your morning show. You gave both of us, and I just... You
all right, man?
Hell no.
I can imagine how emotional today
Yeah,
is.
my last day on 95.7, and you taught me a whole lot of stuff. I mean, taught me a lot. Taught me how to do breaks. Taught me discipline. You made me feel important. You made me feel like the morning show was important. We got there an hour early, Buck. We used to have a stack of papers and show prep.
Yeah.
The morning show started at 5, and I would leave Birmingham at 3 o'clock in the morning, get to Tuscaloosa about 4, and we would sit there at a small computer, me, you, and Africa, and go through all of those stories and show prep. Mm-hmm. And some of that stuff. And the first thing I did, when we took over Tom Joyner, I said, I want to get back to the old school of show prepping and stuff. And Miss Shanika, and Beyonce has really brought that back. I said, Buck trains, and we did air check sessions. and sit there after the show and do an air check session to make sure that all of our breaks was tight and taught somebody how to do radio the right way, not just being funny on the air. But, man, you taught me so much, man. You the one, all of the Bernice Jenkins, all of the Buford, the Roll Tide song. Buck Wilde is the one that produced all that. All of the prank phone calls that you love so much, Buck Wilde the one did those prank phone calls. I did it. He taught me how to do them, and he took the stuff and edited it and told me what to do, would be whispering in my ear, telling me what to say to people doing the prank phone call, and just made it happen. And, man, thank you so much, Buck, for the opportunity that you gave me, man. I cannot, it's not enough money on this earth to repay you for all that you have done. And I know I can speak on behalf of Roy Wood Jr. Thank you so much, man.
You know what? You were a star, and we never realized how big of a star you were ever going to become.
Oh.
Man, for real, seriously. I mean, we all knew it. We knew you were a star. But we were just a little old Birmingham, you know what I mean? And who would have thought that all these years later that you would be taking over for Tom Joyner? You know, Tom was a pioneer. And here you are taking over for the guy who started it all for black people in radio. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of white shows that were syndicated before Tom Joyner, but he was the first one that came along for black people and said, okay, you know what, we can do it too. And here you are taking over for him. I saw a special on CBS morning show the other day about Tom. And I was just sitting up there thinking the whole time, like, man, Rickey is taking over for this legend.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Well, but only thing I ask you to do, man, is to be there on the first day, January the 6th. If you ain't doing nothing, I will fly you to Dallas. I just need you to be in the room. I just need to see your face when
that would be awesome.
Open up my first break, man. If you can come anytime that week, but I'll take care of everything, flight, hotel.
Of course.
I'll set you out, bro. I really want you to be there because I got to take a picture with you and just have you there. And that would be so special, man. Thank you, man, and I really appreciate you.
You know what? The thing was that, I tell people this story all the time. I said, you know, every comedian that we had after Rickey, nobody quite even. Now Roy was funny, but you would, and you don't remember what you look like when we were doing our entertainment stories. You'd be sitting there, kind of with your eyes in the back of the head, just thinking about what jokes you could pop in.
Right.
And you just kept delivering punchline after punchline after punchline. It's like, I can't teach him nothing at this point. You were so funny, Rickey. I mean, you had that young, silly funny. We all had, when we were young and we were silly, you had that funny where we were, I mean, you have people rolling and almost crashing their cars. You remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And do you remember when people would call us up and say, you know what, you made us late for work?
Right. That's what we did. But hey, hold the phone. We're gonna come back, man. Because we had a lot of stuff we was gonna do this morning, but forget it. We got a lot of thank yous, man, because this is a big era. This is our last day on a lot of these stations, which will still be on the radio, but we just won't be on the stations that you're listening to right now. But as old people would say, hold the line, and and we gonna come back, and we got a lot more stories, man, a lot more thank you. We got Derek Baker on the phone as well. This is huge, man, and just the whole Cox family. We're gonna say a whole lot of love, shout outs. More of this coming up next. Rick Smiley Morning Show.